Hello. We're coming live from the bed because I didn't feel like moving my laptop because it's plugged in right now. So, welcome back. I mean, it's the end of week 2. Time for the week 2 check-in. I don't know. I guess we should just get into it and I'll share my thoughts that way. Oh my god, it looks like I overlined my lips. Okay. So, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? I did my morning pages 6 out of the 7 days this week. But one of the days I did the morning pages at like 2 p.m. So I hope that doesn't count against me. But, I don't know. I feel like I should like not make excuses and say that I did 5 days out of 7 because the other one was so late. Because like the whole concept of the morning pages is to do them fresh out of bed, like you didn't have any part of your day started yet, and to like get the thoughts that are like lingering out of your mind. So I guess like I kind of tainted with that by doing it later, but I just wanted to do it and get it done like daily. So I'll say 5. How was the experience for you? How did the morning pages work for you? I have been having like a hard time this week, honestly, with like feeling committed. Like I know it's only week 2 and it's probably a normal part of the process, but it's super frustrating that I feel like everything else is important to me and not the actual important thing, which is working on this course. Like I write the morning pages, yes, but like the morning pages take me like 20 minutes max, and then after that I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like that's all I needed to do. It's easy. And I hate that because that's, it's not what it's there for, and I don't know, I feel like I have a lack of like commitment and discipline, and like everything else is more important to me than the thing that like I actually feel is important to me. And I don't know whether it's fear of like knowing what is going to come out of this, or if it's just like basic like lack of self-respect for me and like not taking myself seriously, which I think is a big part of it. But yeah, I feel like the morning pages are really helpful with getting whatever is on my mind out of it, and also practicing my pen every day. Because I do love that, and that's something that is progress. I have been showing up and I have been writing, but I feel like mentally I'm not where I should be or should want to be, if that makes sense. Which, it's a journey, it's a process, but it is really annoying when I find so many other things to do versus writing and like really focusing and honing in on this, because there are weekly tasks to do. And it's so crazy that we're only on like end of week 2, beginning of week 3, and I feel like I've lived 9 lives. Like I feel like I've lived so long. It does not feel like a week. And for some reason I did do like some of the tasks, but I did them like one day out of the week. Like I wish that I would really kind of separate it and do like a couple of things like every single day to more so practice the habit of like getting into it. But I do feel like the work that I have done is important and makes sense, and like I'm glad that I did it. So I feel like it's working well. It says describe them, but I kind of basically did. Describe them. For example, they felt stupid. I'd rather write these anybody. Yeah. So I feel like the way I write my morning pages has been like, it's like the week started off like specific topics. Like I would go through the whole 3 pages and just write like very specific about like a very specific thing and take up that whole 3 pages. But like as we went on through the week, I felt like there were a couple more things that I wanted to write about, and like I would like start one page and then chop it and go to a different subject and then chop it and go to a different subject. So I don't know. I feel like that's helpful because I'm getting like everything out. Like there's nothing really lingering on my mind at that moment because I've talked about everything that's happened. Um, and it's kind of weird what you like think that you think that there's like nothing really going on in your life, and then all of a sudden there's like a million things going on, and it happens in the course of one day. Um, so yeah, that's weird. But what were you surprised to find yourself writing about? Answer this question in full. Blah blah blah. This will be a weekly self-scanning. Okay, now I'm just reading it out loud, which I don't need to do. What were you surprised to find yourself writing about? I don't think anything really surprised me, honestly. Like, I feel like it's all feelings that I've had in my head this whole time and have finally just, like, wrote on paper. A lot of it's frustration with myself and my lack of, like, effort. Yeah, I feel like nothing really surprises me because they're all things that I feel anyway. And like I feel like the most things that have surprised me are throughout the like tasks, not the morning pages specifically. Um, did you do your artist date this week? What did you do and how did it feel? So, like I was saying, with my need to like make everything else more important than this, I didn't end up going on my artist date this week, and I'm like embarrassed. Like I feel like I should. There's really no one watching this, but I didn't go, and it really like pisses me off that I didn't because I like it didn't even need to. It doesn't need to be anything extravagant. Like last week, I went to a play, and yeah, like that was fun, but like it was pretty extravagant for like just a date, like a first date. Like I just need to go somewhere and spend time with myself. It doesn't have to be like anything that I pay money for or anything of like big scale. It just needs to be like me taking time to do something for myself and to learn about myself and spend time like with that for like a little bit, like a half an hour, 15 minutes even. But like I want to like take time, and it even says in one of like the tasks this week, it was like it just doesn't need to be that big of a deal. It says these goals can be small. Buy one roll of film and shoot it. Whether you are trying to win some autonomy with your time, yes. Look for windows of time for just you and use them in small creative acts. Get to the record store at lunch hour, even if only for 15 minutes. Stop looking for big blocks of time when you will be free. Find small bits of time instead. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, in my mind, small bits of time aren't enough. And I'm like, there's not enough time. Like, why would I do something for 15 minutes? And, like, that doesn't make any sense. But it still doesn't kind of make any sense. And I won't lie about that. But I'm really mad that I didn't do it this week. And I'm going to do it next week. Maybe even tomorrow. Because it's technically the start of week 3. That's the only thing that's just like weirded me out about this whole thing is like it's technically the start of week 3, which I really should do it on Mondays, but like my days off are on Tuesday, so I feel a little more mentally there when I have the day off. But next week I'll probably do it on a Monday because I feel like that just makes more sense. Like I'm still in the week, and then the Tuesday would be when I am starting the new week, if that makes sense. Anyway, I think I'm thinking too much about that. Were there any other issues this week that you considered significant for your recovery? Describe them. I feel like I may have talked about a lot of my stuff with my recovery, like my issues, and it's a lot about lack of discipline and what I prioritize versus another thing. And I feel like I don't have a lot of time in the day, which is not true. Like, I work late, yes, I get home at like 3 in the morning, but once I wake up, it's like maybe the earliest 10 o'clock, and I don't have to be work until 5, even if I do have work that day, and if I don't, I have the whole day. So, like, it really is just that damn phone. Ugh, I hate to say it, but it is. I literally will find anything to entertain myself and to distract myself. I literally was home for hours yesterday before I went to work, and I was on my phone the entire time. The entire time. Like, I love watching YouTube, yes, I'm obsessed. I love listening to podcasts, it's just my, like, joy. But at the same time, like, I love creating, and right now I'm doing nothing but consuming, and it literally, like, feels so exhausting. And every time I take a break from my phone, like, I feel like I get withdrawals, and I'm like like stressed out to the max because I can't get off my fucking phone, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. I just want to throw my phone away sometimes. If I didn't need it to communicate with anyone, I would just throw it in the fucking garbage because I cannot stand it. It literally makes me so mad. I'll spend so many hours on TikTok. At this point, I wish I got fucking banned. It's crazy how much, like, time you can waste on, like, a single thing. And then, like, when it comes down to the actual work, an hour feels like so long. But I could spend an hour on TikTok easily. If someone was like, oh yeah, write a song in an hour, I'd be like, okay, like, that gives me time. But if they were like, okay, now watch TikTok for an hour, I'm like, okay, that's easy. Like, let me just, give me my phone, I'll be on it for an hour. Like, let me just sit in a corner and cry. But it's like the actual, like, work that needs to be done is so, like, daunting to me versus, like, I could easily, I guess that's the point of it, is the comfort and the easiness of it. Because if it wasn't easy, everyone wouldn't be doing it, and everyone does do it, and I don't want to be a part of that crowd. I want to be different and be creatively sound. So in order to do that, I need to get that mentality out of my head. I need to start using my phone lock more. And I think next week I'm going to start, like, when I am not at work and I'm home, I'm going to start locking my phone away so I can't even access it if I want to. And just letting myself be for that 5 hours that I have. Because this is just, it's not helping me in any case whatsoever. Oh my god, my legs are falling asleep from I'm, like, surprised that they're falling asleep, but whatever. So yeah, I do want to read, like, a couple of things I highlighted in the reading, in the reading, that I thought were, like, important and, like, good points that she had made. This has to do with, it's called Poisonous Playmates, the section of the chapter. And I highlighted a section that says we want to set aside time for our creative work, but we feel we should do something else instead. We focus not on a responsibility to ourselves, but on a responsibility to others. We tend to think such behavior makes us good people. It doesn't. it makes us frustrated people, which is crazy to read because I was just talking about that and how I feel like my time isn't my own. But I will say the difference between me and that, like, that part is, I don't dedicate my time to other people. It's literally all to myself, but I'm not doing the creative work. I'm literally doing, like, nonsense. I don't know if this video will get taken out if I swear, but bullshit. I'm doing nonsense bullshit. And it's annoying. Yeah, it really is. I don't even know how to describe it when you, like, you see yourself being someone so completely different than what you actually are, and you want so much better for yourself, but your little mind cannot follow up with that and will literally tell you to do other things instead. In the same section, I think, hold on. Jeez, oh my god, I can't even flip the page. Yeah, the same section, I highlighted, give yourself the gift of faith. Trust that you are on the right track. You are. That was just like a nice affirmation, I felt. I also highlighted, your own healing is the greatest message of hope for others. Yeah. I don't know how much to add to that one, but I think that it was very accurate. Let's see. I also underlined, the answer to be brief but brutal is that we're that crazy ourselves and we are that destructive. I may have read that so weirdly. The answer to be brief but brutal is that we're that crazy ourselves and we are that self-destructive. Yeah. But I feel like that's just so not... I mean, it's brutal. Like, it hurts to, like, admit that to yourself. But I feel like I've admitted that to myself so many times to where I believe it. I am very self-destructive. And maybe a little bit crazy, but I kind of like that about me. As Black creatives, we are willing to go to almost any lengths to remain blocked. As frightening and abusive as life with a crazy maker is, we find it far less threatening than the challenge of a creative life of our own. Yeah. In this part, it's talking about, like, having a person who they call the crazy maker, and it's someone who creates drama and will often, like, block your creativity, and anytime you try to level up, like, it's going to get in the way. And I feel like it's not a specific person for me. It's more so another version of me who's my crazy maker. And, like, in my head, like, it would always try to talk out of me. It would always try to blame things, always create drama, hates my, like, anytime I try to get a schedule together, it literally hates routine, hates any kind of order. Crazy makers deny that they are crazy makers. Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I would do literally anything but sit down and actually work. That's the main theme of this week, is uncovering that crap. I also underlined, your crazy maker is a block you chose yourself to deter you from your own trajectory. As much as you are being exploited by a crazy maker, you too are using that person to block your creative flow. Yeah. And I feel like a main theme of my writing this week has been a lot about self-sabotage and how I love to inflict it on myself. Like, when anything good's going on in my life, I will immediately find a way to mess it the fuck up. Or, like, overthink it and feel like I'm crazy, I'm going on the wrong path, like, this isn't the right thing, it doesn't feel right, and I'll, like, go a whole complete 180, and it's like, looking back, like, you didn't need to do that. You really didn't need to do that. Um, and then we moved on to another thing called the secret doubt. Many times in trying to be good sports, we stuff our feelings of doubt. We need to stop doing that and explore them instead. Which, yeah, I have so many feelings of doubt all the time. And it's crazy that it's telling me to like explore that. And then that honestly makes me like, I don't want to explore that. I don't want to know what's going on over there. I don't want to know that guy. But I mean, it makes sense. I feel like my doubts I push away because I'm like, that's just fear talking. But maybe those are two separate things. That's interesting. I also highlighted, we still feel too much like frauds to handle some success. When it comes, we want to go. In creative recovery, it is not necessary that we change any of our beliefs. It is necessary that we examine them. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like a fraud, not because of my success, which I guess there's a certain definition of success. And I should say, like, success in my recovery and my efforts. That's the kind of success. That's the kind of success that I am talking about right now. And a lot of the times, I do feel like when things are going, that adds to self-sabotage. When things are going good for me, I want to bounce. I'm out of there. I don't give a fuck. This is weird. It doesn't feel right because it's not what I'm used to, which is crap. And I need to go. And I hate that. Like, it's just so... It's just so. I underline the quality of life is in proportion, always, to the capacity for delight. The capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. But what is healed, finally, is the pain that underlies all pain, the pain that we are all, as Rilke phrases it, unutterably alone. More than anything else, attention is an act of connection. And when I read that, like, it ties back into lessons that I've learned this week. I swear, everything just ties back to what I've been feeling and, like, how my efforts, and I feel like I've been having a lack of effort, and it's not because I'm not doing the work. It's because I'm not doing the work in a way, but it's not because I'm not writing my morning pages every day. I'm not doing the tasks that I want to do, because I have done them. And she did say to, like, take your time, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm showing up every day, but I feel as though my attention is in 5 different places. Sorry, I just got a message from... But I feel like my attention's just always, like, all over the place. And when she says, like, attention is an act of connection, I feel like I am disconnected from what I am doing and where I want to be when I am not having the attention focused on that specific thing. It's crazy how everything, like, unravels as I get farther into the chapter. So I also underlined pain had become something more valuable. Experience. Pain is what it took to teach me to pay attention. In times of pain, when the future is too terrifying to contemplate and the past too painful to remember, I have learned to pay attention to right now. The precise moment I was in was always the only safe place for me. Each moment taken alone was always bearable. In the exact now, we are always all right. Yesterday the marriage may have ended. Tomorrow the cat may die. The phone call from the lover, for all my waiting, may not ever come. But just at that moment, just now, that's all right. I am breathing in and out. Realizing this, I began to notice that each moment was not without its beauty. That's fucking sick. No, I felt that a lot. And I didn't highlight all that, but I felt the need to say it in case anyone needed to hear that. Because that hits home. I'm sure for a lot of us. But yeah, that was all I had underlined in that chapter. I am very excited to start week 3. I actually have to read the chapter and get into the reading right now. But crazy. It's crazy how, like, my exact thoughts are in that book. Or, like, everything that I've been thinking she has, like, a writing about. Julia Cameron. She must be psychic or something. But I'm really excited. And I feel like week 3 is going to be a good one. I hope it's a good one. I need it to be a good one. Yeah. Anyway, I will see you for week 3 check-in. Yay!